Just leaving the Hemlock train show, I went in and spent $170 and about $170 in probably 20 minutes. Thought I was going to be there longer. Wasn't there longer. I found a bunch of stuff I needed. I was going to buy 3 cars. I ended up buying more. I got a bunch of stuff. I'll wait until I'm home to show it because it's 76 degrees. I'm hotter than hot. But I wanted to jump on here and say and mention something. I didn't get a recording of it. But as I walk out of the building and I'm walking down to the car, over the loudspeakers, one of the guys running the show goes, because there's a vendor who was heading out with his totes, packed up a bunch of stuff and was heading out to his car. And this announcement comes over the PA. Attention dealers, we still have 40 minutes left of the show. We still have new people coming in the door. Their money is just as good at 120 as it was earlier. Please make sure they have a good show. I love that. You see that in Batavia all the time. I don't know if it has to be done. I can't remember if it has to be done in Batavia or not. But you see that at train shows all the time. You got an hour, half an hour left of the show, and the vendors are packing up and getting things out of there. And these people are still walking around, and it's like they're missing selling stuff because the dealers are packing up way too early. You need to stop. The dealers need to, if you sell stuff at a model railroad show, unless you have to be out the door at the same time as the people, which it shouldn't be the case because the show is open until a certain time. People should be able to come in that up until that close time, which is 3 p.m. today for the Hemlock show. It was 4 p.m. yesterday, or 3:30 p.m. for the Batavia train show. I showed a video of different close times for other shows in the area that are coming up. One on September 28th, and I think it's Hamburg is that show. You need to be open until the end of the show and after the end of the show, because there are still people hanging around after the show buying stuff, and give people discounts. I don't know. Never know. I buy stuff at train shows. Hemlock and Batavia are the two shows I frequent. I don't know if next year I'm going to go to Amherst. I'm thinking about it, but the winter show for Batavia, just a heads up, for you can plan your budget, is not in April. We do not have a spring show this year. Lake Shore's Division and GSME is not putting on a spring show this year. Our show is being moved to winter. We're in January, before Amherst. So if you're in the area, you're going to go to the Batavia show, you got to make sure you budget your, if you are limited a little bit of budget, make sure you have enough money saved for an early show, 3 months early. Make sure you're ready. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I have enough money to go to October and in January. It doesn't matter to me. But I have income increase, so it doesn't matter to me. But there are those of you out there that have to budget. I had to budget for a long time. I still have to budget. I was only able to pay $150 because I spent $320 at Dispatch Junction. So I was not able to get everything I would have liked to have. Make sure you're saving enough money for Batavia in January. Now let's go home so I can show you what I bought. And it is, I got good. Yeah, I got good stuff. More stuff for better operations in the model railroad. After I get my SSI, we're going to have the other module added, and some of the stuff I got at both Dispatch Junction and today, which you've already seen the Dispatch Junction stuff by the time this video comes out. And stuff I got today is for the better operations of another industry. So, see you in a bit. Okay, let's went back home. Convention's over. Unfortunately, I did not pay for any food, so I did not go to the convention breakfast. And if I had paid for food, I wouldn't have been able to go to it anyway, because it was just too early in the morning. I mean, it's about an hour drive up to the RIT and Conference Center from my house, and I'm not going to spend the night in a hotel 45 minutes from my house. So, and I can't because I have a cat home that I have to feed. Convention went good. Saturday was long. I got up to council room at RITN Conference Center at 9:15 in the morning. Tried to get up there at 9, didn't quite make it in time, and was there until 5:30 p.m. I was only supposed to do volunteer until 4. I ended up staying there until 5:30 until Rob locked the raffle room to draw the raffles. Fortunately, didn't win anything. I did spend $20 on tickets, which it's kind of annoying that didn't win, but can't always win. There was one thing I had 3 in 1 chance, 1 in 3 chance. The other one I had 1 in 2 chance, and I didn't win either one of them, which was actually surprising. That was actually so shocking that I didn't win either one of those. I don't know who won them because they were won by somebody who had a name on their ticket. But then after that, the banquet was going on. I, of course, didn't pay for food, so I didn't go to the banquet. And then I went to McDonald's and went across to Fairport, which you've seen the videos of Fairport if you are getting to this point. Then went back, got a Frosty Wendy's, met my first lazy Gen Zer. The girl ordered a chocolate Frosty, a medium, and I get up to the window, and the guy at the window who's moving about as slow as possible and is about as disinterested in his job as possible, says, "You got the biggie bag?" "No." "What'd you order?" "Frosty." Turns to the girl and says, "Where's the thing for the Frosty?" She says, "Oh, I didn't ring it up." And then she does it, and then it takes him forever to ring it up. And she sets the Frosty down. She was so busy talking. There were two of us so busy talking. They were not focused on their job. There's people in the drive-thru line. They're just moving as slow as possible. And he hands me the Frosty, and then he goes to close his window. It's like, spoon? And he hands me the spoon. I was like, "Bleh." The guy acted like he was high, or I don't know what it was. They were both young, probably 18, 19 years old. Obviously, Gen Z or younger than that. And it was just, oh my, how are you that lazy? Ugh. Then went back to the thing, went to the raffle room, talked to Paul Stamp more. Unfortunately, I forgot to talk to you, Paul, but if you look at other videos, I was wearing a Motivated Eyewear wristband. I lost it somewhere. It might have been at your house when I took off my hoodie. Check the basement, and if you find it, check the basement, your driveway. If it's broken, if it broke off, just let me know. If it's there somewhere, I'll be up at your house at some point, or whatever. Just hang on to it. I go up to Batavia occasionally. I can take the time to get it again. It was free. It was part of a merchandise I got, but still would be nice to have it. Then today I woke up, drove over to Hemlock. What? Okay, had to change it to saving on my phone because my card was full. I don't know how it was full. It had like 10 gigabytes left, and all of a sudden it's full. I don't know why it's made some videos larger in size than others, but I got to dig this quick. Drove over to Hemlock, was only there for about half an hour, and bought enough the stuff that I just then spent all the money that I had because didn't have much left because I had spent everything on. You can see that still there's 2 purchases from last video right here, Genesee Root and the Buffalo Wraps from Pennsylvania hopper. I bought a bunch of stuff at Hemlock. I was going to buy, now I already showed you those 2 covered hoppers I got there. Well, I got 2 more. Lehigh in New England covered hopper. This one has a build date of August 1953. This one I'm going to use for sand. And then we have a Cosmos Portland Cement Company from Cosmosdale, Kentucky. This was built in October of 1947. So this is one that's going to go to New York Concrete Pipe Plant. And this one will be bringing sand into the elevator factory. And they'll, of course, join my D&H, Dewey, Portland Cement. Oh, I have 3. I have 3 of these covered hoppers. Now I have 5 covered hoppers. 2 that are definitely cement. 3 that could be cement or something else. Because we have the D&H, the Dewey Portland Cement, and the C&J. So we now have 5 era appropriate covered hoppers to deliver stuff to this layout. So the guy who runs the train show, he has, I already said this in the conveyor, but he has a conveyor for doing this, and I'll get one of those and do that. Now, another thing I showed you before was tank cars. I have more. I was going to buy, there was a table that I usually buy from. He had one other covered hopper for $12, but then I went around this side I didn't see before. This table I didn't see before. It was over with the Lionel stuff, and I figured everything over there was Lionel. No, it wasn't. There was a table with HO scale cars, various different HO scale cars, which this one doesn't have a coupler in this end. $7 each, or 4 for $20. That's a good deal. So I bought 4 tank cars. So this one I have to add a coupler too, but I'm gonna have to get those the clips for the bottom. These metal clips are the couplers, because this one's missing on this side. Now this one, I'm gonna have to build something out of styrene. Maybe it fell out in the bag. I don't know. I thought I had a coupler on both ends. So I'll have to fix that. But we have an SHPX Shippers Carline Corp lease to Sun Oil Company. So that will be bringing oil into the layout. This is a very fragile handrails. I actually broke one of the handrails on that. It's in the bag. I hope it is. I had put it in there. I had put it on the car. When I handed it to her, it might have fallen off. Then we have another one. She wrapped these up really nice. I bought 2 Gulf oil tank cars, because the boiler house, it was originally coal, and then they changed it to oil at some point. So I'm just going to intermix them. Most of the cars I end up getting in are coal, or coke, which will be for the foundry. So I'm just going to mix them up. Have them be getting oil and coal at the same time. These are very fragile, so it's very difficult to find a place that you can handle these without them falling apart. Here's the other Gulf oil. This one's 14608. The other one is 14624. WRNX for Gulf oil. And this one's really dusty. I think that's an attempt. Some of it's an attempt at weathering, but I got to run a wet cloth over that and get that dust off. But that's filthy. Here's my other, and the final one. I think this is a Conco car, Continental Oil. Yeah, Conoco. This is a Continental Oil Connex 6183. This one's got metal handrails that looks like they haven't been painted yet. Need to paint those somehow, or just leave them, because I would have they're glued in there. And you're gonna have to just leave them like that because they're glued in there. So we have 4 oil tank cars. 2 of them are missing a coupler on one end. The other one that I bought at Dispatch Junction that has horn hooks on it. So we have two oil tank cars that are able to be put in service right away, and 2 that aren't. And then I got B&O 532 149, another coal hopper for the Baltimore, Ohio. This will join my fleet. This one has a load in it. So this will join my fleet of hoppers to deliver coal to here and to the coal dock, the coal trestle there. And then this was that and this were the first thing I bought. Now, I don't know how well this is. It should run fine because this has had a different decoder put in it. It's a bar limited. This was $90. It is sound in DCC. It had a DC sound decoder. It had a DC sound in it before, but the guy upgraded it, and I got this for $90. It's with its head tested on it, so we're going to find out eventually. But Baltimore, Ohio, SD7, number 763. This was built in 1953. So as soon as I get that 060, that Bachmann 060 switcher that I want to get for $248, I will have steam era and diesel era for the Baltimore, Ohio on this layout. Right now I have Baltimore, Ohio. We're going to see how well this runs at this point. I got to make this quick because I don't have very much space on my phone. So I got to make this fast. But yeah, let's get this thing operating on the layout, see how it runs. If anybody can tell me what that ticking sounds like gears in there is, please comment. Not very many people comment on my videos, but if you know, please let me know. Okay, change of clothes because this was actually filmed on the 12th of October, October 12th. October 12th, I am not British. And talk about the convention. For the most part, great. Operating on Mike Pyzak, I think I said that right. I'll lay out again. Of course, if you saw that video, I saw Paul Stamp's operations in the last two videos. Both those went well. Worked from, say, I got there at 9:30 in the morning and I left at 5:30 p.m. at the raffle room. I was in the room the whole time I was there. I was in that room. I didn't leave it. Or maybe I think I did walk out for a couple minutes, but I didn't go very far. I spent most of my time in there. We sold a lot of raffle tickets. A lot of people won things. I didn't win anything. Oh well. Only spent $20. $20 would have been a lot of money before. I mean, that would have been a lot. That would have been a crushing to have spent that much money and not won anything before. But it doesn't really matter now that thankfully I don't have to worry as much about money after taking over the family finances and finding out how much extra I have money. Thankfully, that's a very great blessing. That I don't have to worry that much when I spend $20 on something. That's a great relief, and thank God every day for that. One bad experience at the convention, one person I'd never met before, didn't even know existed. Had one really friendly guy from Texas. It wasn't a bad experience. It was just something I'm not used to. Some strange guy walking up to me and saying, "Hi, how are you?" Introducing himself. Some guy from Texas. I don't know if he was a subscriber to the channel or if he was just a convention goer that was introducing himself to everybody. I don't know. Some guy from Texas came up to the Northeast Regional Convention, which that was surprising in itself. But no, this other guy was a vendor. It was not Bernard. was not Bernard. So don't think I'm talking about Bernard. It was a different guy. Guy did a clinic. I think all the vendors there did a clinic. Some people will know who I'm talking about. Will guess who I'm talking about. The guy was rude. The guy was absolutely rude. Clinic, he was fine. In the clinic, he was informative. He was nice. He was talking to people. He was friendly. Outside of the clinic, that is where he was rude. And by far the rudest person I ever met. And I would say he was just being rude to me, that he had something against me personally. But I saw him do this behavior with other people, so it wasn't me. So for people like Joey, Late Night Model Router, and other people who have blamed me for things, no, it was not me. It was him, because he was walking away from conversations with other people too. He's just not a friendly person. Buy his stuff. I'm sure his stuff is great. It looked great. What I saw of it on a podcast recently, it's great stuff. The personality, though, he needs to work on that, because he is just not the type of person. Let's say if he was running a train store and it was something that I had to go into, I would not shop there because of his attitude. He walked away from so many people that were talking to him. He's like, people would be talking to him and he'd be like edging away from them, which is extremely rude. And I was shocked. That's the first time I've ever seen something like that from being in the NRA. And I've been, let's see, as of now, I've been a member of the NRA for 1 year, because I joined in the end of September, beginning of October, somewhere around there, of 2023. So I've been in the NRA for a year. I haven't had too much interaction with stuff, even though we're a very active division. But this is by far the rudest person I've ever met as part of it. Bernard was friendly. Bernard was nice. He was busy, though. Didn't really talk to him that much. Rob Bartel, vice president of Rochester Model Railroad Club, was in a room with him for hours, because he and I were the ones doing the raffle room. So I was around him from 9:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night, and then I was around him later, and then I was with him today because I was operating in the Rochester Model Railroad Club's layout today as part of our round robins operating sessions. And this is something I'm going to do my part to try and get this beyond our division, to get other divisions to do this, because I have personally, and Paul's staying in there after our op session was done, which went wonderfully, other than Paul forgot to give power back to the main after he went through in a diamond. Probably not going to let you forget that one for a while, Paul. So, yeah, Paul, remember when you caused me to stop dead in the main because you went up the branch and didn't throw the switch back the way you were supposed to? Yeah, that was good times. Or I think it was Ned Spiller who left the caboose on the westbound main when the B&O turn was coming around. Was coming around the curve. They're up working the quarry, shoving back in the quarry, and it's like come around the curve. It's like, ho! Change of underwear all around for that one. Yeah, like if the conductor was in the caboose, he'd be like, ah! Which it made me think of these layouts that where you're running from a cab. Can you imagine? Again, it's just a caboose, but the switch was also lined against me, so it would have hit the caboose. If you were running from a cab in another room looking through a camera, you would have come around through those trees and seen a caboose there right in front of you, and there'd been not time to stop. And especially if you have momentum on the engines, and you would just plow through the caboose, and right through the switch lined against you and derail the train. Yeah. Other than that, it was a great operating session. I have not operated in the Seneca Valley lines before. In fact, I have not been at the Rochester Model Railroad Club I have not been there probably since before Jordan even joined the current president, Jordan Durrell, even joined the club. I think it was prior to 2015. He joined in 2015, and I think it was prior to that I was last up there. He might have been there. I don't remember. It was a long time ago that I was last up there. In fact, it was so long ago that when I saw the description of it being 50 by 60, it's like, that can't be right. That I've been there. It seems like it's half that, but I don't know if it grew. I don't think it's grown since then, but I don't know. Anyway, that was a great operating session. All the times through, that was the only bad thing. I had a great time at the operating session. Saw Gordon Spalti again. Rob Bartels, of course, was in Caledonia. Worked with him a bit. Jordan, Seneca Valley lines. It's a large layout. The dispatcher is pretty much in the center, but you're communicating via radio, and you're getting permission to go to here to do that, which I like. Apparently, they've had problems with people not communicating with the dispatcher when they're leaving yards. I made sure I did as much communication as I could. It's like grabbing Victor, brush permission through the diamonds, hold the diamonds, to let Black Diamond go through, then I can go through, then follow that train, and that part I like. In fact, I mean, I'm going to have to be using radios with that, because my plan, because there's not enough room in that barn, with me filling every bit of it with the layout for there to be a dispatcher up there. So I'm going to have the dispatcher downstairs on the first floor, because we were going to use that back room in the barn. We were going to actually be rehabbing windows for historic buildings and such, which would be dealing with lead paint, and it had to be a lead paint safe work area. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. Probably if we end up doing that, we'll do it in the shed instead. Once we get the shed emptied out from it being filled with stuff, and then emptied out and then filled with stuff in the storage unit, stuff like that. So I'm probably going to have that downstairs, that big downstairs room, be a crew lounge and dispatcher's office, and then upstairs be the layout. It would be cool if I could have like a staging yard down in the first floor and have trains lifted up through. That would be cool. Maybe I could do that. I mean, I do have to replace the floor over on that side of the barn. Maybe build in a little elevator to lift things up. That's the thing. Thought of it. Anyway, that's it for this. From CP Silver Springs, Milepost 368, Norfolk Southern Tier Line, keep on trains. Tim out.